Good morning students, myself Rajni Vinith. This video is for class 7B. Today in this video I am going to explain the very first chapter from your civics portion, that is the Constitution of India. Listen carefully for better understanding. In this chapter you are going to learn about constitution, different organ of government, history related to the making of the Indian Constitution, role of the Constituent Assembly and the preamble. Let's start the chapter. What is a constitution? Every democratic country is governed by a set of rules and regulations which defines the powers and functions of the organs of a government. That particular set of rules and regulations is known as constitution. It is also known as the fundamental law. Each and every law are framed according to the principles and ideas laid down in it. As you know, India is a democratic country, so India has its own written constitution and it is the longest and most detailed constitution in the world. Let's learn about the organs of the constituent government. Our system of government is known as the parliamentary system of government. It is federal in structure and it has unitary features. Our constitution lay down guideline for the system of our government. There are three principal organs of the government. Number one, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Now let's know about them and their function. First organ is the legislature. Parliament at the center and the state assemblies in the state are called the legislature. Their main responsibility is for making laws. Next organ is the executive. This organ includes the president, the prime minister and council of ministers at the center and the governors, chief ministers and ministers at the state. Their main responsibility is the execution of laws made by the legislature. The third system is the judicial system. This three-tier structure consists three stages of the court: the Supreme Court, the High Court and the lower court. Its main function is to interpreting the constitution and reviewing the laws created by the legislature. This is also known as the custodian or guardian of the constitution. It is an independent organ of the government. By this table, you can easily understand the different members of all the three organs of government on national level as well as state level. Our government works on two levels: national level and state level. The reason behind it is that our country is a very big country, so for the effective running of government, the government works on these two levels. Now, let's see the history behind the formation of our constitution. As you know, for 200 years, the British ruled over us. So before independence, laws were made by them. Their laws served their interest. Most of the laws are not in the favor of Indian people. So the freedom fighters decided to frame our own constitution. First, they tried to agree British for the participation of Indians in drafting the constitution, but British refused. Then, just after the Second World War, the British made their own mind to leave India. So, in 1946, they sent a cabinet mission which presented a plan for the formation of Constituent Assembly, which was formed in 1946. This assembly includes members from different parties, different communities, and from different regions. This assembly held its inaugural meeting in December 1946 and respected Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Let's see the role of the Constituent Assembly in forming of government. This assembly formed a 6-member drafting committee which was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is known as the father of Constitution. Now, this committee met regularly and started preparing the draft of the Constitution, keeping in mind the opinions of the people. This draft included provision of the Constitution of UK, USSR, USA and several other countries. The making of Indian Constitution took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. In next point, we will come to know about the adoption process of our constitution. After the completion of draft of the Indian Constitution, it was adopted on 26 November 1949, but it came into force on 26 January 1950. It came into force on 26 January, not on 26 November 1949. The reason behind it that the date 26 January has its own historic importance because on 26 January 1930 the Congress had pledged to fight for Purna Swaraj, which means complete independence, and it was also decided that 26 January 1930 would be celebrated as the first Purna Swaraj Divas. For this date 26 January was selected for the implementation of the Constitution. And after implementation of the constitution, India became a republic and Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of our country. Next topic of this chapter is the preamble. The meaning of preamble is a preparatory statement or simply an introduction. Our constitution also states with a preamble. This idea of preamble was borrowed from USA. Let's see important feature of preamble. India is democratic country. It means all the power lies in the hands of the people of this country. So, the first line of the preamble, we, the people of India, and the last line, adapt, enact the give to ourselves this constitution. This implies that the power lies in the hands of the people. The members of the Constituent Assembly frame the constitution on the behalf of the people of India. So, it draws the authority from the people and the people hold the ultimate power. Constitution is most powerful document, but it is not enforceable in the court. So, if anybody disobey the constitution, then he or she is surely punished by the court. The constitution directs the policy maker or the lawmaker to act in the favor of achieve the goal set by constitution. Let's move to the next point. According to our constitution, India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic country. Let's see one by one all these characteristics of our country. Sovereign means freedom from external control. It means no other country will rule over India. India is free to govern itself and make its own law. No external country can influence and interrupt in the laws made by the Indian Constituent Assembly. Socialist. Socialist means social and economical equality. This characteristics refers to the equal social status or economical opportunity for everyone. Though this word socialist was not in original text, but this word socialist, secular, unity and integrity were added by 42 Amendment Act in 1976. It also aims at providing a fair standard of living to all. The characteristics secular means all the religions are equal. India has no any official religion. People are free to practice any religion and they are also free to spread their religion. Government cannot interfere in religious matter and no any discrimination can be made by the government on the name of religion. Next characteristic, democracy. Democracy means that the government is chosen by the people. The people has the power to elect their own representative who runs the government on behalf of the people. The American President Abraham Lincoln defined democracy in this way: democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, because of this universal law that is called universal adult. Franchise expresses that the people of any country, if they are above 18 years of age and above, can use their voting right and elect their own representative. Let's move to the next and last characteristic: republic. Republic means that the head of the country or the president, who is elected either directly or indirectly by the people, is not able to rule by any hereditary right. Our country India became a republic in 1950 after the enactment of Constitution. So, my dear children, this much is enough for this video. Listen this video very carefully for your educational development, as well as to know your duties and rights in your country. Solve the questions which I give you on Tenno. Till then, goodbye.